Hello everybody, how are you today? It's Miriam here in the Paper Wheel Studio. I hope everybody is enjoying the ABC challenge for April and the 100 Days of Junk Journaling challenge is out there. There's also the 100-Day Project, or some people might refer to it as the 100-Day Challenge. If you hashtag or Google it, you'll find out that it's just a challenge that begins sometime in February. You really don't have to follow any particular dates, but you will be crafting or making something that you enjoy making every day for 100 days. I'm posting videos on YouTube, with the exception of a few days where I posted pictures. Probably 95 out of 100 will be videos. Maybe short ones, but that's what they are. And today I'm just playing around in my craft room with some time cards. I've got, oh, that one's a little bent, but that's okay. I can't remember if I picked these up at the dollar store or actually on Amazon, I believe. I'm not 100% certain, but I got a whole pack of 50 or 100 for something for one price. And I have some more here in my little pile of goodies over here to the side. I also have some more time cards, and I brought along a couple guest checks. Now, guest checks come in tablets designed for restaurants. So if you simply have one tablet of this, it'll last you quite some time. But if you order them, you'll end up with a bunch of different books. They come in different colors. I believe I got ones that are kind of like a little bit of a mint blue-green kind of color there. They also come in pink and blue and just all kinds of different things. So I have those that I'm going to work on today. Some of my fussy cuts for my boys' journal that I'm working on. And I also just have some random scraps and things here on my desk as well. So I thought I'd bring you along and see what we can accomplish with some time cards and some guest checks. All right. These are very, very simple to cut into tags. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hand cut mine today. And since these are larger tags, let's just give it a nice corner here. And then when you chop that one, if you want your other one to look the same, it's a little hard for me to pinch and hold it this way, but I'm going to give it a shot. You line that up there on that corner. Hold it as best you can. And mine slipped a little, but that's all right. I know where that is. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut up that corner. And because I'm not good at doing this, I'm going to compare my two corners, and it looks like one was cut just a fraction off from the other. So we're coming along here, and I need it to come over this way just a hair more. So I'm just going to trim a little piece, and that will straighten that line out anyway. So there we go. Now we've got that at the top, ready to go. The ones I have here is a little shiny on one side, and then the back side is not as shiny. And you can cover the back of these with anything you want. I'll see if I have something here on my desk that I can use to cover it with, or just a scrap of some kind. Or I may come along and cover them at a later time. So let's see what I've got here. I've got some goodies off to the side. I also thought this one would look really cool on one of these, and I haven't yet fussy cut it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I do like the Norman Rockwell part there on the bottom, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut out my boy, and then I'll cut it out like a piece of a tag. So I'm just going to roughly cut him. I don't mind a little edge around him because this is a white backing. You could copy dye these though if you would like. I'm not copy dyeing mine at this point. They do copy dye well. And you could even just coffee dye one side of them if you chose, just by brushing your coffee dye on with a paintbrush. So, just trying to leave about the same edge all the way around him for inking purposes. I'm using ink because it kind of is pulling everything in this journal together. So we're just going to roughly cut him out here. Making his little hand signal to the catcher. Why did I say checker? I don't know. Must have had checkers on the brain or something. I don't know. Never know what's coming out of my mouth. Could be very entertaining here. I use all kinds of odd words for things and give things odd names. Okay, let's see. I did screw that up a little bit. Let's see if I can fix it. Not the best fussy cutter in the world, nor did I ever claim to be, but I enjoy using pictures. This was a book of Norman Rockwell paintings that I picked up at, I believe, a garage sale. And the whole reason I got it was to be able to use the images and pages in my journal. In actually not just one, but in journals that I make. So, all right. So we got this dude here now. And I am going to use some ink around him. I'm going to use today, I think I'm just going to use my Stormy Sky just to get a very subtle chalky blue look around it. Those are my ink pads up there that I'm using right now quite a bit. Oh, I laid this on my desk because I wanted to show you all something. This is what happens when you don't use stainless steel pens in your glue, or pens that are made for glue. I don't know if you can see that rust on that straight pen, but I thought it was stainless steel, and it rusted right inside my glue bottle. So then when you go to get your glue out, it's no longer white, it's rusty colored. So be sure you use pens that are designed to be putting into glue bottles that aren't going to rust on you. Oh, we'll look at the back here. Let's see, there's really, I'm looking for words before I decide to get rid of it, and I'm really not seeing too much. So we'll just cut out our little Norman Rockwell bit here to become a label on my tag. We'll give credit to Mr. Rockwell for his wonderful painting here that we are using a part of from a book. All right. And I got it at a yard sale. Somebody's selling it because they didn't want it anymore. So I thought, yeah, why not? I have some other ink on here, but I just use this dauber for most of my blue inks. Not too worried if my inks might jump from one to another. They're all blues. As long as I keep my blues blues and my pinks pink and my browns brown, I really don't care. So just going to give him a little bit of a blue hue. You might want to say all the way around him. I have a video, Ink or Not. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Give me your opinion. Do you like inking? Do you not like inking? I did a video and I don't believe I got any comments with it, so let me know what your opinion is. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I welcome you to do so. I appreciate each and every one of my subscribers. You help my channel to grow, and that's why I come on here, is so that you can see my videos and see how I do things. So I thank you for subscribing and helping my channel to end up with more subscribers. I appreciate all of you. Couldn't do it if you weren't here to watch them, that's for sure. I probably have enough here to go ahead and ink up the little Norman Rockwell bit here that I got cut out. So let's just go ahead and Put a little tiny bit of blue around it as well. Just the very edge. And I'm kind of using that to pull all my different colored pieces together. I'm using almost all blue inks in this to kind of pull it together. A few bright ones, but not that many. All right, so now I have this guy. And it's a shame I don't have any old baseball scorecards or anything, because that looked really cool under here. You know, I have numbers. I do have number things. I don't think I would have anything in my scraps. Let's see here real quick. I do have some numbers. We could cut out and kind of make a little scoreboard there. Us and them. Nah, I'm not going to do it. Nope. I've got some washi stickers. I'll end up using something like that probably on here. So let's give him a little bit of gluing. Where is my glue pad? I have a, this is just from a small 4x6 journal I had that I never used, and the paper was kind of thin anyway, so I use these thinner papers as glue papers. And then when they are too glued to use again, I just pull it off the top and use the next one. If I would use these to make anything with, they'd have to be a lot thicker. So I think I need to roll my glue up a bit. Get some more out of my container. I'd say so. And this is supposed to be purple glue. But after I open one and I've used it a couple times, I don't usually see the purple when I put my glue down. It's very, very faint. So, oh. Glue bob. Or a glue, I don't know what you would call it. Blob. That's what I want. Glue blob. There's another glue blob. Put our glue blobs together and fold this piece of paper up. Here, as soon as we get this boy stuck down, we'll take care of those glue blobs. So I want that to stick to the back of something I'm making here. Alright. And he already has a little stepping stone there. Another glue blob right there on his face. Take that off. Fortunately, when you use glue stick, you get those. It just happens. And I can't find my thing I like to use as my bone folder when I'm gluing things down. But we'll just use the glue stick. Push him down real good because we're gluing him down on the shiny side and I don't want him to come back up. Alright. And I think all I'm going to do with him is give him a label or two. A number and a label maybe. I've got a sticker book here. We'll see if I have anything within it that might work well. I haven't used this very much, but it's what I have here on my desk. So let me see what I have in here. There are some numbers and some words, and I don't know if there'd be anything in here that might work or not. And I do believe these, I think these are fussy, or I don't know, maybe they're not cut. Yeah, they are not. So anything used out of here, you would have to cut it yourself, but I don't mind. Just kind of seeing what I got here. Well. Here's our little Norman Rockwell piece. Let's see if we can put it on to something that's going to give it a little bit of a background. That piece would work. Let me get my scissors here and snap this off of here. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, with these being washi stickers, that you won't be able to see the edging. So I don't think I have to cut it up right against the sticker. But I'm going to check it out here once I get it out of my little book. Just in case, I'm going to go ahead and round my corners and make sure the sides are straight on my sticker. And then we'll put our Norman Rockwell label on there, and that might be all we do for this one. I do have a baseball bat and a little baseball somewhere. When I figure out and think about where I put it, oh yeah, you won't hardly see that white. It'll blend into the cards. So, and there are tickets there, which might look really cool for a baseball game. We want, I think I want this. Where do I want this? I'll put it right down here. Oh yeah, you can't see the edge of that sticker at all. So, but I still want to get it on here fairly straight. There we go. Let it go over his little mound there that he's on. All right. I think he needs something right here, but I don't know what. Excuse me, let me get a drink here. I have some other washi stickers here on my desk. See if I can get to them. They're hiding back here. I think my lap caught that one. It did. Let's see if we can come up with something that we can use up here near the top. Like a ticket of some kind. Admit one. Let's see if I got one going the other direction. Because that one's kind of going the wrong direction. London Transport. There is a plane ticket right there that would probably work very well for this. So these are cut it out, I believe. Yes. Pretty sure they are. We'll use it on here, and then I'll get my ball and my bat that I have. I'm pretty sure these are already cut out. Just, they're hard to get started. There it is. Yep, sure is. So this is one way that you could use your guest checks. We're just going to put this along here. How about if we come down and let's put it right above our black line. Like right. We want it there? Nope. Honestly, don't know where to put it. It's washi tape, so it should, oh, peel a little bit of it up, so it's going to have to cover that. So let's see, let's put it right, starting right here, and go over that, right like that. Yeah, there we go. And then we can fold it over and clip off that little corner. There we go. And where did my scissors run off to? Well, I just had those things. There they are, hiding amongst the tickets. There we go. Not sure what was on it, but something was on there. All right. Am I good with that? I think so. Let me venture in case there's a number that I might want to put with it. All right, here's some numbers. This says field label. Ha ha ha. Even though it's a different type of field label, we're going to use it because I think that would just be really cool on there. Or 8-4. I think we're going to use 8-4 instead. Changed my mind. Then it will appear as if that's the score. And we can come back and put a topper on it, or really just anything that we want, and come back and put something to cover the back a little. Something to write on. You can write on the back of this even without covering. You would not have to cover the back by any means. However, it's good to cover these on the back, and then you've got space for the person to come along and write. I'm not going to do that. Online, it's basically gluing a couple pieces of paper together. So I'm not going to take up the time and do that on here. So we have that one. And let's see. Let's try a guest check this time. Use one of the guest checks, and I'm just going to decorate it up. It's blank on the back, plenty of room for writing. So I'm just going to decorate it up a bit, and I'm going to get out some things that over here. I don't want to bury my guy here. There we go. I do have several things in my little mini stamp album here that I have prepared for this journal that we could possibly use. Plus I have some game ephemera type pieces. So let's recreate our stack here. When somebody figures out how to make things on your desk and having a stack of paper and not making it a mess, let me know. Alright, so there we go, we got that. And just a little scrap. You can go down in there. We also have some more book page. We could use some book page with this. We didn't put any book page on there with our baseball player, but that is an option. Let's see what I got here. I also have some coupon things here. I'm going to lay that out. And I have a moose-like thing. And I think a Discover or Explore label here under here somewhere. That would probably be cool looking on. Oh, there's the moose tracks. Is that a moose? Elk? What is that? Anybody know? Explore. Here we go. This is the one I want. There we go. Let's use that piece. I also have another little McDuck dude and a little boy and some more trains, and I have these cool robots. I'm going to pull out 2 of the robots because I want to use one of my robots on something. I also have Smokey the Bear, which might be cute on one of these larger tag things too. Let's see, this is just a little baseball card thing like there, but I like my Norman Rockwell boy, so we'll keep him here. Alrighty, get rid of the trash. Alright, so guess check. It's going to be just like a journal card again. The ones I got, there's a good little substance to these, so it makes it them a lot easier to use. Get rid of some more scraps here. So let's see how. I think Smokey's going to be too tall for a guess check. He would have to go. Well, you know what? He really wouldn't be. What if we would layer him up with something in the back? Oh, sorry. Not sure why I like that. I really like the Smokey on this guest check. So he's going down. I think I buried my baseball player, but that's all right. Goals. This is from an old book. Everybody from the if you're in your 50s and 60s, you all would know who Smokey the Bear is. He was a big let's prevent forest fires dude when I was a kid. I don't know if Smokey Bear's around much anymore or not. You don't see any commercials. But Smokey helped prevent forest fires. So we've got that so far. And let's see if we have something here that archive. That might look pretty cool. Here's also numbers 0 to 10, which might be super cool on there too. I have a hard time always. Here's some game pieces on this one. I believe they're game pieces or game cards. I'm not sure which. There's also airmail stickers on here and theater sticker. Fragile, handle with care. And a few other tags. What is Earth? What is this one? Well, I gotta read this little teeny tiny writing and I gotta look up close here. This lever flap of the envelope must be raised before placing. I have no idea. I can't read that close. We also have our bingo board here. You know what? Let's use this little blue game board like piece here. Do you want the blue or the green? Green I think would go better. We do not need whiskey on here because this is for a young boy who is probably not even old enough to have a drink of whiskey. Because I don't even know if he's a year old yet. I'm not sure how old he is. So I'm not going to cover up my check number, but I'm going to put that right below where that check number is. Oh yeah. It fills that in there. Just what I think we needed. Do we want any other kind of a number? I don't think so. I think I'm good with that. So we're just going to put Smokey down on here. You could also use both your time cards and guest checks to create pockets. This guest checks is a pretty simple way to do pockets. You can do them right side up, or you can lay your guest check on its side and do a pocket. Either one works. I think I'm just going to do like a little side tuck with mine. And these do have a perforation at the bottom, so I'm going to put that down so that it will cover up the note on the bottom. But it also is gluing across the perforation so nobody can tear that bottom bit off. And I think I'm just going to cut off where it went over there, little bunny ear. And I'll just cut his, it doesn't cut his ear, it cuts the paper. So I'll trim the paper here and ink the edges. And I think that'll take care of everything. And oops, we missed. Did we really miss that up there? With some glue? If we did, maybe I just didn't push it down hard enough. Let's get this stuck down good here before we go and do anything else. Make sure the rest of it is stuck before I go to cut off the ear. Well, the paper on the ear, you know what I mean. I don't plan on cutting anybody's ears off today. There we go. And now, where is my dauber for inking? I think I need a little more on here. I think we'll do a pocket with each one. Not sure we'll get them completely decorated, but we could probably get something on them. And I can finish decorating them at another time. Now this could be stuck in a pocket, or it could be glued down and used as a side tuck or pocket, either one, just like he is. So we got that one done, and where did our little guy go that we hid? Here he is. And we have that done. Okay, now if we wanted to turn one of these into a pocket, you can cut off either end you'd want and cover it with paper. So I think, I've got this piece of paper which I thought, I don't know the width on it, so let me double check my width here. Make sure it's not going to be bigger than, let's see, 14 centimeters. Hey Alexa, what is 14 divided by 2.5?
14 divided by 2.5 is 5.6.
5.6.
4 new notifications. Do you want to hear them?
No. All right, we're going to cut this off a bit on the sides. So I think what I'm going to start with doing is just simply gluing my paper down on here. And I think I'm going to use this side. The paper is cut fairly straight, but it must be, I don't know, maybe it is slightly off. Yeah, I think it is just a little, but I'm going to glue it down on the bottom edge, and then I'm just going to trim around it. You can do it that way, or you can trim it down to the size you want and then add paper to it. So I'm going to glue it down, and I want to glue down on the side that is not shiny so that the paper will stick real good to it. And I'm really getting the glue on my time card here. Probably more than I need, but that's okay. Not sure why I did it that way instead of doing the paper first, but okay. We'll make it even with the bottom, and then I'm going to trim it along the two side lines and across the line on the top. And that will be my base for my pocket. And these journal cards are plenty thick enough that they can make a nice journal card or pocket, either one. Don't know what game it is, but there is a free space in the middle. Anybody know what game this is from? Anybody recognize it? I don't. And I don't want this to be too wide for the journal, so I'm going to take off some on the sides. Okay. Take this bit off. I think it's the slightly crooked piece. We're going to follow the line. Hopefully the line on the paper straight. If not, it'll give the illusion that it is anyway. All right. And I'm just going to go right across the top. And that'll be the perfect width and depth for the journal that I'm working on. Okay. See if I have any of my smaller images that might work well on this. Forgive me, I needed another drink there. Okay. Well, I know I have some little bits. Oh, looky here. Here we go. We have these two guys with the clock. They're probably going to be too tall for this, but I'll use those on my guest check pocket. And if that one's too tall, then this guy probably is too. Let's see what I have here. This might be a fun one to put the Great Outdoor stickers on, huh? I've got some more train stickers in here. I also have some of these bits. Here is a couple bits here and a couple of these would work, I think. And this one here, I believe, says Public School Barretts. So yeah, that would be really cool to use. Also have some little tiny bunnies that might look cute. And here is the baseball bat that I told you I had here. Not sure where my baseball is, but there's my bat and my other balls. Don't know what that is. Oh, a little blue heart. And we'll pull out a rabbit because I might just end up using him somehow, some way. Or we also have, the other thing we have in here that looks really cool, I think, are some of these Tim Holtz boys. They would probably be the right height to use on here. So let's just pull them out and see what we've got. Okay, stacking my stuff back up here, out of my way. And we'll see what we got here. Bits and pieces of everything, you know? That will go on probably that other one quite nicely. And I buried the ones we already made again. Where'd they go? You probably watched me do it. Here we go. There they are. We'll put them back on top. Okay. So now we have this piece. We could round our corners. Get my corner around here, and hopefully it's not too thick for me to go through. Get that row clear back in there so it punches it right. Yep. That one clear back in. There we go. That one, yep, that worked. Get this one clear back in there. I don't think it went back in all the way. It did not. Nope. And we're going to get that one clear back in there. Make sure it's all the way down in. There we go. So, I got my rounded corners. I have my public school merits. And I have move one man forward 11 squares. That's kind of neat. So, I think we're going to go with that. I'm pretty sure, like I said, yep, those guys are too tall for that. So they can go on another guest check. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this with him. Is that the one we want? We also have this guy. And we have a few more others here. He's sitting. I want a standing guy, I think. And I have this dude who's a little bit taller, but I'm going with the two here I have for now. And I might come back and add something, a stamp or something to it later. These guys back up here, and we're going to do a side pocket tuck with the guest check. Just a little tuck spot for things. This paper you'll really notice if it's crooked, so I'm trying to make sure I get it on there straight. There we go. We're going to put him, I don't like him floating, so we're going to put him right here on that box, or lying underneath him. And I'll come back along here and probably add something to it later. We'll put him right there. And now we have that pocket. There we go. See, you can put pockets together in no time. And let's see, now we have, I wanted to use our robot too, so I'm going to save those guys for something else. So now we have our guest check, and all I'm going to do, when I find my scissors, I lose scissors so easily. I bury everything on my desk. All right, paper cutter, come to the rescue here. Don't know where the scissors are, but you come to the rescue, then I can use you to cut. So I'm just going to cut a diagonal on this one. It's going to take the word guest check off here, but I'm okay with that. I just want to kind of match up and use the same amount on the top that I am on the bottom, pretty much. So let's see. Maybe let's try it. See what that looks like. Oh yeah, that'll work. And I'm going to save that little bit there with the check number on the top. I've got this guy. And I thought I had a second one here, didn't I? Really? Oh, I guess it's, oh, nope, he's not one. Guess that's going to be the one. Can't find the other ones. Anything I had here? I'm going to check here and make sure I didn't leave it in the book. It's like I sworn I had two of them. Well, well, well. Fiddly sticks. Okay. You are going to be the one that goes on here. Since I'm not seeing anything else, it's probably right here in front of me. Well, well, well. What do you know? Also have this piece of ticket, which is really cool. Wonder if he would go well with the robot. Didn't want to do that, but I can glue it. Yep. Gonna glue that down here. I can't decide, folks, what I want to put on here. However, you get the general drift. This is an option too, which I think they might just end up going on here. Yeah, I do like them better. So that's probably what'll go on this one rather than the robot. Save Mr. Robot for another day. And I'm going to take just the here they are, top off this because it's awful tall. We're going to take just the top off of this. And then it can be decorated up, but it's quite thick to use for a journal as well. Well, folks, that's what we have here. We've got time cards, guest checks. We've made pockets with them, and we have made tags out of them. So they're just really good bases to use to make things with and to decorate things with. Or you could even just use a plain guest check and stick it in one of your pockets for someone to decorate as well. So we came up with these. This is our one we did not get decorated, so we came up with these pieces today. And they'll look really cute in this journal that I'm working on. So thanks for coming along with me. You all be sure you like and subscribe below. and you all have a wonderful evening. I'll talk with you later. Bye-bye, everyone.